Capital News tonight. President Magufuli calls on political leaders to conduct peaceful campaigns. 2 people were killed after an oil tanker catches fire in Morogoro. And in sports, Yanga drew 1-1 with Mtibwa Sugar in their Premier League encounter. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, national news. President Dr. John Magufuli has urged political leaders to conduct peaceful campaigns that strengthen national unity. President Dr. John Magufuli made the statement when inaugurating the National Electoral Commission (NEC) as Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau (PCCB) buildings in Chamwino, Dodoma, where he also commended PCCB's efforts in combating corruption.
Lakini ni viombe na vyombo vya kusimamia haki.
I urge law enforcement organs not to use force, but I also urge politicians not to try law enforcement organs. You must not force them to use force. So all of us, all parties, I'm sure if we put God first in our campaigning, we shall have a good one. Now the field is free. Honorable Judge has announced the timetable, so this is a time to sell yourself, after which whoever wins, work begins. Politics remains in Parliament and in district councils.
Kufuatia kuvunjwa kwa mkataba huo mnamo tarehe 24 Disemba mwaka jana.
After the contract had been dissolved on the 24th of December last year, the Commission entered into a new contract with Suma JKT to complete the project. This contract was scheduled to be completed on the 24th of April this year, but due to various reasons, the contractor was added more time until July 30th this year. Until today, Suma JKT has been paid 10,273,246,805 and 22 cents. Therefore, the amount outstanding is 2,015,660,100,709 and 63 cents.
Mradi huu haukuwa na mapungufu au changamoto zozote.
This project did not have any shortcomings or challenges in its implementation until its completion. Today, despite the project lacking any shortcomings, within Suma JKT in Sumagad, the institute is owed money by a lot of government institutions, more than 11 billion. If such debt is cleared, then it will enable Suma JKT to expand.
Bilioni 11.
2 people have died in a fire after a Nissan tank lorry with registration number T177AJN owned by Ahmed Shabibi that was carrying petrol and diesel fuel overturned and caught on fire at Mkongeni, Dakawa area in Morogoro region.
The vehicle left the road, crashed and caught fire, killing 2 people whose bodies have been burnt beyond recognition. We are still investigating the cause of the accident.
Kuna moto mkubwa wa lori unawaka na tuliuzima. Baada ya kuuzima tulifanya.
We managed to put out the fire, after which we recovered the 2 bodies inside the vehicle that were burned.
Kabidhi polisi.
A report on the quality of media content in Tanzania for 2019 has been released, with ITV, an East African super brand powerhouse, taking first place in news content, and Radio 1 Stereo taking second place for radio stations in Tanzania mainland and the Isles. The report, which was made by the University of Dar es Salaam's School of Journalism and Mass Communication, along with the Embassy of Switzerland, involved radio and television stations, both public and private, as well as newspapers.
The performance of media houses in their reporting has gone down from 28.6% to 26% compared to last year's report. In addition, we've seen shortcomings in various areas of reporting, and one area is on how media houses report on opposing views. It shows that there is still a lot of work that we must do to enable women to have a say even on very ordinary issues.
Mbinga district in Ruvuma region is facing shortage in petrol, with all 6 fuel stations in the district having run out of the fuel, causing users to purchase petrol from street sellers at 5,000 shillings per litre.
We buy oil from the streets, but it is very expensive. It goes as high as 5,000 per litre.
Kwa matatizo ya mafuta, kwa kweli mafuta kuna matatizo katika wilaya yetu ya Mbinga.
There is a problem in Mbinga when it comes to accessing fuel. It has been going on for almost 2 months.
Shida kubwa ni ugonjwa wa corona.
COVID-19 has affected how much fuel is coming in, and petrol has been most affected.
Shida kubwa na mafuta, aina ya mafuta ya Afrika ni upande wa petroli.
The Deputy Secretary of CCM in Zanzibar, Dr. Juma Abdallah Mabodi, has said that the decisions made in Zanzibar on presidential, parliamentary and councillorship aspirants are respected and hold way, that the decision will not be made in Dodoma.
Watu watatu na wale watakuwa wanatazama kule na katika na uwezo wao.
The Special Council of Zanzibar will propose 3 names that we feel most suited to contest. This will be presented in writing and must be fully listed areas of dissatisfaction. Name and address of the person complaining must also be clearly shown in the letter.
Wazi katika barua ya mlalamikaji.
Air Tanzania Company Limited ATCL and its management has assured owners of factories processing fish fillet in Mwanza that they will provide a large cargo plane that will save costs and time they are currently spending to transport their goods using foreign planes.
Yuko muda mzigo teli 8 hata teli 10 inajaa uwanja wa ndege ya hapa.
You can wait for up to 1 week for your cargo to be transported. This is a big challenge. We were supposed to have commenced traveling to China, but COVID-19 slowed down the process. However, we hope to have started by November, and we've agreed with the government to buy a cargo aircraft. A lot of aircrafts transporting cargo come from Nairobi, but they don't come to Mwanza. So we must list challenges hindering these aircrafts from coming to Mwanza, so we can see how we are going to resolve them. But once the government buys a cargo aircraft, then a lot of the challenges will be sorted out.
And 15 residents of Kilombero district in Morogoro region have appeared in Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam to face various charges including collusion and fraud. Here's more on the story.
The accused had their charges read to them before the principal magistrate, Huruma Said, Rashid Chaungu, Agustina Bandom, Yusto Ruboroga and Richard Kabate. The accused include boda driver Doto Likumbai, Abdallah Migoi, and 2 agents, Athumani Roho and Onesmo Ngajela. The accused are Said Sevenjari, also known as Dangote, Hassan Jala Tango, Filbert Ngatunga, Octavian Lekaleka, Francis Mhombera, Moses Mhindi, Michael Ngalami, Omari Mbena, as well as Rashid Misham and Emmanuel Asei. The accused are alleged to have, between the 1st of January and June 15, 2020, in various parts of Kilombero District, Morogoro region, conspired to get money through fraudulent means by using various mobile networks. They are also accused of failing to report changes in SIM cards. On January 1st and June 15th, they are accused of using phone numbers registered to other individuals without reporting to their service provider. The accused denied all charges and have been returned back to remand custody after failing to meet bail conditions. The case has been adjourned to July 27th, August 5th and 6th of this year.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. Welcome back, and in international news. The Ministry of Health in Kenya has announced that 537 people have tested positive for the coronavirus, bringing the number of confirmed cases to 14,805. 14 of the new cases are foreign nationals, while the rest are Kenyan citizens.
In the last 1 week alone, a total of 2,738 patients placed under home care-based program have recovered from the disease. There are still many more who are currently placed under the program, and we want to wish them quick recovery. This is a major success in the fight against the disease, a disease that has ravaged our country and put the lives of many Kenyans at risk. Even as we continue to ramp up other measures to curtail the spread of the virus, the success of the home-based care program for those infected has given a whole new impetus in this fight.
Meanwhile, 16 people were injured during a stampede that occurred on a ferry in Mombasa, Kenya. The incident occurred when the MV Safari ferry started having mechanical problems. The incident happened so fast. I thank God that I got the chance to rescue myself, while some of the passengers were trying to rescue their lives. The incident happened so fast. I thank God that I got the chance to rescue myself, while some of the passengers were trying to save their lives. Citizens in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, have expressed their views on President Felix Tshisekedi's decision to lift various restrictions taken against the coronavirus pandemic. The announcement made by Honorable President is good, but we wish for churches to be opened again, since there are reasons like markets, restaurants and shops. Since the President has the mandate of opening up business activities, then he should do that, because the country was almost dead. The remains of more than 12,000 people buried in a single grave in Gitega region, Burundi, have been discovered by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Now, according to the head of the commission, Pierre Clavier, they say the remains are of people killed during the genocide in 1972. Truth and Reconciliation Commission is preserving human remains of 12,643 people that were found in a few regions. We must ask God for forgiveness. One cannot kill a fellow human being, even if there are conflicts involved. Following discovery of these remains, I believe their loved ones will be given opportunity to bury their family members in a dignified manner. And in our special report tonight, Capital Television's Vanessa Victor and Emmanuel Shays, our correspondent from media partner Deutsche Welle, discusses on studies on the coronavirus vaccine.
As almost 15 million people worldwide have been infected by the novel coronavirus, 2 studies have shown positive results in the search for a vaccine. One could even be ready to use as early as the end of the year. Joining us now is Emmanuel Shaza from our media partner Deutsche Welle. So Emmanuel, what do we know about that particular potential vaccine?
At Oxford University in the UK, and this vaccine could be made available as early as the end of this year. It has been licensed under condition, of course, and there was a strong antibody and T-cell immune response in early stage clinical trials, and those trials were conducted on 1,000 people in the UK. There's also been a separate trial similar to that conducted by the University of Oxford that was conducted in China on 500 people, and most of those people have developed a very strong antibody immune response.
So within that there is hope, but with that it comes with caution as well. How is that being sort of looked at?
Well, there's very cautious optimism right now. The leader of the Oxford project, Sarah Gilbert, said that there is absolutely no certainty as to whether or not the vaccine could be made available really quickly as one would wish. It will depend on several factors. It will depend on further testing to prove its effectiveness. We'll also need to see whether or not it is possible to produce that vaccine at a large scale. And finally, there will be a need for a license for emergency use, and that will be decided by regulators. Also, the director of the World Health Organization's Health Emergency Program, Mike Ryan, said that it was good news, of course, but that there was still a long way to go. He also highlighted the need for a larger scale trial worldwide.
So within that, German laboratories have also been credited with progresses in the race to find a vaccine. Where does research stand right now in Germany?
Well, German laboratories have been at the forefront of research for a vaccine ever since the beginning of the pandemic, and a German firm, BioNTech, has revealed there were promising results in clinical trials, also with a strong T-cell immune response. The German laboratory revealed that they have concluded a first delivery agreement with US company Pfizer. It is not an agreement with the US government, nor is it exclusively giving rights for the US markets, but it's already progress. And BioNTech also has gotten an agreement with Brazil to further test the vaccine against COVID-19. Also, according to a German researcher, Stefan Kaufmann, who had developed an anti-tuberculosis vaccine back in the 90s, there could be a correlation between the tuberculosis vaccine and the vaccine against coronavirus. So there are all very promising developments on the vaccine front coming here from Germany.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that insight and update. Until next time, again, stay safe with this coronavirus pandemic. It is very important to keep doing that.
Thank you. Stay safe too.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. Tanzania Private Sector Foundation (TPSF) has assured the business community in the country that it will continue to be an important link with all stakeholders, including the public sector, in bringing about economic changes in the industrial sector. More efforts will be increased to ensure that Tanzanian business community get market of their produce. So far, we have agreed to find areas that will boost our speed. For producers who are also investment stakeholders should know better on opportunities available so that we could increase productivity. Again, to the government, we have seen development potentials through the private sector. And farmers have been urged to venture into grape farming in order to increase their incomes and contribute to the country's economic growth, as measures have been taken by Tanzania Culture Research Institute to come up with seedlings that produce good quality yields.
Tumefika wakati sasa tumejaribu kuandika barua.
Research have been carried out, and time has come now for us to import modified seeds that have good yields like the ones grown in South Africa. We have already written a letter to the government seeking for permission to import the seeds. Let us come up with solutions on how we are going to produce seedlings that will go hand in hand with issues of climate change. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
Thank you for watching in. This is time for sports news. Young Africans Football Club have been held to a 1-0 all draw by Mtibwa Sugar in their Premier League encounter that was played at the Jamhuri Stadium in Morogoro. Mtibwa went ahead in the first half through Haruna Chanungo before Yanga, who are fighting for the second spot, equalized in the 83rd minute with a goal from Adiyum Ahmed. Moving on, Simba Sports Club Chief Executive Officer Senzo Mazingisa has refuted reports that the club plans to sack its technical bench at the end of the season.
All these speculations that are taking place outside there, they are not true. I read this morning from a Mwanaspoti newspaper that we are going to fire players, we are going to fire staff and stuff. It is very irresponsible. What is put out there is not true, and it's meant to destabilize Simba, and we are not going to allow that. Simba is strong, Simba is ready for the final. Simba has already won the VPL championship, so nothing like that will disturb us. So just for record, no player, no technical member bench is being targeted or is going to be fired. There's nothing like that.
The cries out full time after one last foray from Arsenal was repelled, and once Chris Kavanagh had finally blown his whistle, were so loud that for a moment it was tempting to wonder whether any supporters had sneaked inside. Here's the report.
Aston Villa left desolate by Theo Walcott's equaliser at Goodison Park last Thursday had moved out of the relegation zone for the first time since late February, and nobody could fault the way they took their chances. Villa had been forced to sit and watch in the hope of an implosion above them for 5 days, and it came courtesy of Watford, whose two demoralizing defeats and latest change of manager handed Dean Smith's team a sniff of a reprieve by the time they kicked off. It was seized upon through near-flawless defending at one end, and at the other by a forward who has hit form at exactly the right time, Mahmoud Trezeguet.
AC Milan head coach has said that his contract is extended for a further 2 years, the club has also announced.
The deal will see the 54-year-old remain in charge of the Serie A giant until June 2022. After taking on the role in October 2019, Pioli's initial deal was only until the end of the season, but the former Lazio and Inter manager has successfully led Milan through the coronavirus pandemic and guided the club to 5th on the Serie A table. Milan's chief executive, Ivan Gazidis, said Pioli had been a positive influence on the team and club as a whole. Last night, Milan won 2-1 against Sassuolo, both goals being scored by their veteran striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.